This is the main road to the Bowerfield International Airport. Last year, nearly 80,000 tourists came to Vanuatu, many of them through this terminal. But now,
Air Vanuatu in an extreme bout of financial turbulence.
Officially been liquidated.
Voluntary administration cancelled.
Hundreds of stranded
Travellers are stranded in Vanuatu.
There's one ferry a week, or you rely on Air Vanuatu to fly in and out. So with them not flying...
There's pregnant women here. There's kids everywhere who just want to get home.
Tourists are trapped and planes are grounded.
Thanks everyone for being here this morning.
As Vanuatu's government appoints international consultants Ernst & Young to oversee the liquidation of the national carrier.
We're working on all options.
Prime Minister Charlotte Salwai fronted up to the press too, saying all domestic flights are on hold while aircraft await much needed maintenance.
Emigam lo last year finish, sta lo fila o te man lo mi, o te mi. Antlaram one small care lo mitla, le emiko lo tana, mi kamte mi lugo visiklos na minuse se oshawane mena o visiklos minuse.
It's a disastrous end for Air Vanuatu. So how does a country's national airline simply collapse?
Everybody knows that Air Vanuatu has been limping along since 2017.
A month ago, Vanuatu's Finance Minister John Salong said there were no plans to liquidate Air Vanuatu, but things have changed. Mounting costs mean there's simply no money left to keep the airline afloat.
Sometimes you have to make such decisions if there's no other option.
Aviation is a tough industry to operate in, even for major players. Margins are slim and events like natural disasters and the COVID-19 pandemic can wreak havoc. Some of Air Vanuatu's woes appear self-inflicted. Since 2020, Vanuatu has had 4 different prime ministers.
Every government comes in with a different chairperson and a different CEO.
An Airbus was almost purchased in 2019, but that decision was reversed by a change in government, leaving Vanuatu with a $25 million bill and nothing to show for it. 3 tropical cyclones in recent years didn't help either.
Because of the cyclones and because of the hangover from COVID-19, really tourism numbers were depressed, and after 3 or 4 rough years, there really isn't much money left in the economy. It's just the tough operating economics of a small island nation that has limited budget and trying to sustain a national airline.
My name is Lopez Adams. I'm a social entrepreneur. We create businesses and get people to run them. We've had the disruption for too long. Politicians have their hands a lot in all the affairs of the airline. We know our local politics is not good for business. We shouldn't be worried so much about our national pride, because a private business can run a national pride for us.
Air travel is crucial to every country, but particularly Pacific nations, and not just for tourism.
Often the only form of travel is actually by air. It's crucial for maintaining family relationships, also the politics of those islands, representation, but also for the economy. A lot of freight comes in by air and is distributed.
Many Pacific airlines have struggled to stay afloat over the years, and disruptions are common. But there are some exceptions. Fiji Airways recently posted profits double pre-pandemic levels.
Fiji has an enormous advantage in that it has a very well developed tourism product. Almost all of that tourism product is within an hour's reach of the main airport, Nadi. It also has a domestic network, and it also has a regional network into the rest of Polynesia.
So how can future issues be avoided for Vanuatu? Besides an end to political deadlock, one solution would be to separate domestic and international services, like neighbour New Caledonia has done.
Sometimes by splitting those operations, domestic and international, it becomes easier to have a joint venture partner on the international routes.
A Pacific airline industry analysis from last year, funded in part by the Australian government, recommended airlines form revenue and cost partnerships. Solomon Airlines, Air Vanuatu and Air Cailin were keen to partner, but without the internal capability and resources to make it happen, a third party was needed.
Now this has been a common theme over the years, and Australian Airlines have gone in and actually helped or partner with some of these airlines. So there's a whole lot of cooperation between airlines in the region that probably needs to happen.
Vanuatu government is committed to Air Vanuatu, and Vanuatu government wants to see Air Vanuatu still flying, but Vanuatu government cannot continue to bleed money.
Who knows, maybe there are going to be new investors coming in. I think there is a bright future than yesterday.
Message please start follow leaders, please you walk one, you put aside all political differences. Lo yun sabi karang pakaya Vanuatu play.